Hello, and welcome back to N Raghav TV for yet another video. It's been a long time, it's been about a month since I've uploaded, and finally I'm back to uploading videos regularly now. And here we are again to talk about FC Barcelona in the Europa League once again. So let's just get started. I mean, where do I even begin? A season we thought of, a season of hope, a season of possibly coming back as a European giant and dominating big teams. A possibility, slight hope we had when after the transfer window made some huge signings, and here we are again back in the Europa League with those signings. Robert Lewandowski, Jules Koundé, Rafinha, renewed Dembele. Now we have and a stacked, we have a stacked team. We signed Christensen, we signed Frank Kessié, yet we are down back to the Europa League. How has all this happened? It all began with the Champions League draw, to be fair. The group of death, Bayern Munich, a team we haven't had a good result in for years. For years we haven't had a good result against Bayern Munich. Then Inter Milan, who have come in strong this season, consistent performances in the Champions League, something they haven't been known for. But this season they have performed really good in the Champions League. And then we had Victoria in our group, and of course we FC Barcelona. It was always going to be a tough challenge, and Europa looked very likely in the first, when the draws came out itself. And here we are again back in the Europa League. Big result, big game performances. Again, Xavi questionable. Last season we did have a few good performances in the big game. We beat Atletico 4-2. Then we had that Clasico performance. And although our performance against Frankfurt is questionable, although we beat Napoli last season. So last season we did have a few good results under Xavi in the big games. But again this season, the old curse returns, where we haven't performed very good against any of the big teams this season. We had a 3-3 draw against Inter, then we lost to Bayern 2-0. We had a decent performance in that game, but still we lost 2-0 to Bayern in that game. Then again a 1-0 loss to Inter Milan, and then we lost again to Bayern Munich at home. Is what is frustrating. You can't pin it down on the coach alone, although he made a lot of mistakes. Let's not forget that. Putting Marcus Alonso at centre back, against these big teams, then trusting over Alonso at left back against Bayern Munich, if I'm not wrong, over Alejandro Balde was a big blunder. Then of course Sergio Busquets. Where do I even start with him? I was the biggest Sergio Busquets fan, I don't get me wrong, I've been the biggest Busquets fan, but Xavi, it's time we move away from Busquets. I rather have Frank de Jong play at CDM, make mistakes and learn from it, than have Sergio Busquets play in that spot week in and week out. Please, Javier Hernandez, please, let's move away from Sergio Busquets, and I'd rather have Frankie de Jong play there and make mistakes than play Sergio Busquets in that spot right now. Xavi made a mistakes and few poor performances from our players. Ousmane Dembele, man, as much as I love seeing the way he plays. He got a hat-trick of assists against Athletic Club Bilbao. He's way too inconsistent. Way too inconsistent. You never know if he's going to turn up in the game or not. Rafinha hasn't been at his best since coming to Barcelona. A few performances in the pre-season was impressive, but he hasn't been proving it. Ansu Fati can't start why doesn't he start is my question to Xavi. How long are you going to keep him on the bench and keep starting Dembele and Rafinha? Ferran Torres, for his dear life, please come back to form. What are you doing, my son? Ferran Torres, man, please. Lewandowski has been absolutely carrying this Barcelona side is what I'm going to say, because Lewandowski, Pedri, Marc-Andre Ter Stegen, Jules Koundé and Ronald Araujo till he got injured. Then Balde in the few games. Christensen was very good. These few, Xavi as well, but very inconsistent. These are the few players who have been carrying our side this season, and even if one of them fails to perform, the entire team crumbles. Looks like we don't play on the same wavelength. Lewandowski, Pedri, Koundé, Araujo, these kind of players are playing on a different level, but the entire team is not able to match that level. It's wrong to say intensity, but their level of play is what they're not able to match. So the question now being, is it Xavi out already? My answer being definitely not, but questions are definitely being raised, need to be raised about his tactical decisions and the way we put ourselves forward in these big games. Questions definitely need to be raised, but is it? People have asked a few things, like they've said few things like Valverde was top of the league when he was sacked. Ronald Koeman won us the Copa del Rey, still got sacked, and all Xavi has on his resume now is 2 Europa League campaigns. So fair enough. They have a huge point. This puts Xavi's managerial position under huge trouble. But one thing I want to say is, look what Mikel Arteta has done with Arsenal. A far more inferior side which he got when he took over as the Arsenal manager, finished 7th in the league, finished 7th and 8th in the league, won an FA Cup, but look what he's doing this season in the Premier League with Arsenal. But Xavi got his keys, he got the players that he needed. I understand a lot of new players will need time to gel, all those reasons. You can give reasons, but you've got the squad, they've given you the money, they gave you the players that you want. You've got to provide results now. I badly want Xavi to succeed just because of his legacy as a player at Barcelona. I badly want him to succeed, but questions are being raised on Xavi as well. So let me know your thoughts down in the comment section down below. Of course, La Liga is still on. We definitely need to put in a strong challenge for La Liga now. And even the cup competitions, and definitely the Europa League. Whatever happens, we're still going to be watching our team. That's how much we love our respective clubs. In Barcelona, man, you give me a lot of pain, still support you till the end of the day. It is what it is. And thank you for watching the video. Do subscribe and like to the channel. It's been a long time, so let's help get back into the YouTube algorithm. And until next time, as always, Visca el Barça.